Have you all? Vanessa, okay, so we're gonna start right ahead. We're already 2 minutes in. So welcome all to the Thursday night webinar brought to you by JCVs. I'm your host, Skyler, and we have an interesting session for you all. So before we get into it, I'd like us to say a prayer before we begin. So join me. Heavenly Father, we come to this evening. We thank you for this life, for this salvation. Father, we commit this meeting and gathering into the hands of the Lord. Pray for everyone who will be able to join the meeting and for those who have not joined. Father, that at the end of this, one of you might be able to grasp something and they might feel like the time has been of use and it has been fruitful. At the end of it, I pray for our speaker, even as she's about to deliver what she has, Father, may we be open to hearing what she has for us. It's really different. Amen. So I hope everybody can see my screen. As you can see, this webinar is brought to you by JCBs. These are our services and what we are about for anybody that's new to the webinar. So we are a human resource consulting firm, and what it is. So sorry, I didn't hear myself. Basically, those are our services. Those are our services, and this is what we're about. And what we're about. So I'd like to get right ahead without wasting much time. I'd like to welcome Esther to take it ahead as a stage. We're talking about what employers. Kindly ask you joining, please mute your mics to avoid a lot of noise. So we're going to talk about what employers are looking for. So basically, to stop people from wondering and having a little guesswork on what it is to expect, what it is they should do. So to take us through it is Esther, Munguti, our speaker for the evening, whom I'd like to welcome. Esther, you can take over, please.
Good evening. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Can you see my screen?
No, I can't.
No, you can't see my screen. Give me a minute. Better?
Yeah, better.
Okay. So welcome all to this meeting. I hope you had a productive day, and I hope if you didn't, well, welcome to this meeting, and we'll help you get what you're looking for. We'll try help you get what you're looking for. So the topic of this discussion is understanding employer expectations in the hiring process. And we'll be giving you insights from employers on what they look for in candidates. So I will continue. Give me a moment as I try to go to the next page. My laptop is having issues with going to the next page. Give me a moment as I try to figure that out.
Hi, Esther.
Yes.
I think you can just go ahead as you try to share your slide. I think you can just start.
Okay, let me get back to it. You can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen. Esther.
Okay, let me try that again.
Okay, are you? We're able to see your screen now.
Okay, I think we're good to go now. Sorry about that. So understanding employer expectations in the hiring process, insights from employers on what they look for in candidates. So
Esther, are you still there?
yeah, I'm there.
Esther, you can present without the video. I think that one will be you'll be able to manage.
That's okay. Can you see my screen?
Not at the moment.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'll start from here. So an overview of employee expectations. And what you're going to go through is the technical competence. We have the soft skills. We have cultural fit, growth mindset, and reliability and professionalism. So basically, we are going to look at things which employers look for in people they are willing to employ or bring into their organizations. So we'll start with technical competence. This is the mastery in relevant job specific skills. So the importance of job specific skills is that candidates must demonstrate a high level of skill relevant to the role. So in terms of any job you want to go to, you should have some technical skills that are required for that position. I'll give examples by professions. If you want to join the space of IT, you need to have, for example, proficiency in coding languages, such as Python, JavaScript, just to mention a few. If you're supposed to go to the healthcare section, you need knowledge of clinical procedures and patient care. Those are just to give examples. If you are to join the finance, you need skills in financial analysis and familiarity with regulatory standards. Also, you'll need to have skills in how to go about statutory deductions and stuff like that. In education, you need to understand how a curriculum is designed and classroom management, how to conduct students, how lessons are taught, how to generally know how to interact with students and other staff, either teaching or non-teaching. So for technical competence, you just need to have the hard skill of whatever it is you want to do in your profession. And then we also have the soft skills and adaptability. Here, it's basically soft skills you learn from any point in life. We have communication, how you communicate with other people, how you interact with other people. We have teamwork, if you can be able to work in a team or you prefer to work alone, but mostly, most of the organizations require people to have teamwork as a soft skill. You're able to interact with other employees and help each other out in the workspace. You also need to have adaptability, how you're able to get into an organization and adapt to its culture, for example, the workforce that is required of you, and how you adapt to the culture and interacting with people in a basic level. So The top soft skills employees seek are communication, teamwork, problem solving, emotional intelligence, and adaptability. On problem solving, it's how you go about taking care of an issue that arises maybe at work or with employees or with clients. If it's a place where you have to deal with customers, how you help them solve the issues that they have. And on emotional intelligence, it's how you go about interacting with employees who maybe you will find one of your employee or a coworker has an issue with communicating with the other people. So you have to know how to interact with them on an intelligent level of emotions and know how to sort out whatever it is they have going on. So applicable examples are in customer service, clear communication to handle client inquiries, how your tone, your intuition, how you're going to, intonation, sorry, how you articulate your words, how you comfort, like if someone comes to you with an issue of maybe sales, for example, they got maybe the wrong product they were looking for, how you go about handling their inquiries, and yeah, stuff like that. And in engineering, collaborative work in teams to troubleshoot and innovate. For example, things like engineering, most of the time, teamwork is required of the people who are working there. And also we have sales and marketing, persuasive communication and relationship building in terms of communicating with other salespeople to know what is in the market, just building a good rapport with other salespeople so that you can know how to go about things in your market space. We also have healthcare. Here we have empathy and adaptability to patient care. Empathy in terms of you're not supposed to feel sorry for the patient. You're supposed to put yourself in their shoe, and how would you want to feel if you are in their position? How would you want someone to talk to you? How would you want someone to take care of you if you were the one in the position of the sick person? And also adaptability in how you carry out stuff in the hospital, because it's a very sensitive area. So you have to adapt to taking care of patients and things like those. Yeah, so
Hello, Esther, are you still with us?
yes. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so we move on to cultural fit and value alignment. This is where a candidate is supposed to align with the company's values and missions. Mostly this happens when a candidate goes for an interview. So understanding company culture. An employer assesses how candidates align with company values and culture. So once someone goes to an interview and they are being interviewed, an employer looks at how this person will be able to interact with the culture of the company. So industry specific cultural fit, I'm just giving a general from startup to corporate and non-profit organizations. So at startup level, there is emphasis on innovation, flexibility, and risk-taking. On innovation, how good are you at coming up with ideas of making the company excel or improve or become bigger? So most of the employers look for candidates who have know how to think outside the box, who have creative ideas they come up with on how to carry out different departments, different levels, how they bring, what they bring to the company in terms of making it excel. So on flexibility, it's how flexible you are. Because it's a startup, most of the employers want someone who is flexible. Like if you are needed during non-working hours, are you flexible enough to join the team in maybe doing a project and finding ways to improve the company? And on risk-taking, since it's not easy to start a company or an organization, most of the employers need people who are worth taking the risk, because you can never know unless you take a risk. So they are looking for people who are willing to take risks, both for the company and also for their own. So on a corporate or financial sector, the importance of professionalism, integrity, and structure. So how professional are you when it comes to interacting with the culture of the company? How professional are you when it comes to interacting with other employees if you are fit for the organization? How integrous are you if you are brought to the organization? How will you take care of finances if you're in the financial sector? How are you going to take care of customers if you are in the customer service sector? So how you interact or how you answer your questions during an interview shows how you are going to interact with the culture of the organization. Also, for nonprofit organizations, commitment to social responsibility and community impact. Since most of them are community-based, how seriously do you take your role in social responsibility, giving back to the community? Yeah, doing whatever it takes to make sure that the organization succeeds in the role or in the mission it has. So an important note is that this can be done by showing genuine enthusiasm for the company's mission in interviews. So when you go out to an organization to seek for a position, you're supposed to at least have a background check on what the mission is, so that you show how dedicated you are to giving back to the organization. Give me a minute. So next we move on to the growth mindset. The growth mindset. Okay, the growth mindset and the learning this is the willingness to learn and improve on your skills when you get to the organization. So what is a growth mindset? This is the willingness to learn and develop, showing adaptability to new challenges. So an employer will look for someone who is open-minded and willing to learn. If it's something that you're not skillful at, how willing are you to gain new experience and new knowledge on the position you want to work at. So the profession-specific applications, for example, in IT and technology, staying current with new programming languages and trends. For example, how most of the time during interviews, you'll get asked, how do you stay in line with the current market changes and industry trends? So how do you stay updated to what's new? How do you do your research? Do you find new ways to learn? That's very important in this. So in the healthcare sector, commitment to continuous medical education and certifications. So when you get to the level where you are able to join an organization, you don't stop there. Find new ways to learn new things, find new ways to improve yourself, which in turn also improves the organization at large. In the education sector, pursuing professional development to adopt new training methods. For example, since how the system changed from 844 to CBC, most of the teachers had to go through other trainings to adapt to the new change, because not all subjects are the same right now. We have new subjects. How willing are they to change from 844 to CBC, incorporate new subjects, incorporate new training methods, new teaching methods, and how to handle students in a different way from how they were handling them in 844. So in finance, we have learning new software tools for data analytics, and financial modeling. How do you, for example, in an organization, you find where you previously were, you were using different ways of inputting data, and you go to another organization. How willing are you to learn the new way of handling the data in this other organization? So employers really look for people who are open-minded and willing to learn new skills. So we move on to reliability and professionalism. This is punctuality, integrity, and accountability, just to mention a few. So how punctual are you when it comes to reporting to work? How punctual are you when it comes to meeting deadlines? How punctual are you? How is your turnover rate in terms of projects, in terms of if you have something allocated to you, how punctual are you to provide whatever it is in time? Integrity comes from how you handle yourself at first, because integrity means someone can trust you with whatever it is they want you to do. They know they can rely on you and that you're going to deliver whatever it is they want from you. Accountability is where you're able to take charge and know that this is expected of me, and I will do it to my level best because I am willing to give back to the organization. Yes. Professionalism in every aspect. This is important. Being punctual, responsible, and committed. Responsibility in that you also take charge. You're supposed to feel the pride in what it is you give, so that if you feel proud of yourself, people will see it in your results and how committed you are to the organization. I'll give examples by field. We have healthcare, demonstrating reliability in patient schedules and confidentiality. Since healthcare is a very sensitive sector, how are you going to treat patients? Are you going to schedule them for their treatment in time? How they're supposed to have confidence that whatever it is you share between you and them is supposed to remain between the two of you. Yes, and in construction, for example, showing accountability in meeting project deadlines and quality. So how fast are you to meeting project deadlines? Yeah. In retail, we have timelines, organization, and proactive customer engagement. How fast are you to sell out a product? For example, if it's something that deals with a specific product, how fast are you at getting customers for the product, initiating the payment and all that, getting customers to actually buy from you? In the corporate, we have consistency in quality, reporting, and meeting deadlines. How good is your product? How good are you selling it? How good are you at reporting to the person in authority above you? And how good are you at meeting deadlines? Yeah. So we have tailoring applications for employer expectation. As I had mentioned earlier, before you go to an organization to apply for a job, or before you go to your interview, you should have done research and personalization. This means that you do research on the company you want to apply for, and then you tailor your application to the specific expectations. I'm not saying you lie to the organization. Let's say you were doing sales, for example, and then you want to change to healthcare. So you change your whole CV from sales to healthcare. No, if you're doing sales and that's what you're majoring at, if it's sales in a specific organization, write what you're doing in that organization. And then when you want to go to this better opportunity you get, do research on the organization and what it deals with, such that when you're writing your CV, you have a clear picture of what they expect from you. That's what I mean by tailoring your application to the specific expectations. So some of the tips in doing this are highlighting relevant skills in your resume and cover letter. So as I've just said, you conform your CV to fit the expectations of this new organization you want to go to. You can use example and metrics to demonstrate competency. Some people are bold enough to go search for the gaps that the organization is going through. So you look for whatever it is they're missing and say that you can bring it to the organization. Like I saw when I was doing research about your company, I saw that you guys do not have this and this, and what I would bring to the organization is whatever it is that you guys are lacking. So you can prepare for behavioral questions that reflect the company's value. So while doing your research and then you know what the company values, you can also tailor your, when you're going for your interview, you know how to go about fitting into the description they're looking for in a candidate. Yeah. So we move to the next. So we are coming to the end of the presentation and we'll have the takeaways. So we have understand employer expectations and highlight relevant skills. So as we've said, you do your research, know what is expected of you from the employer, and then you highlight your relevant skills in accordance to what they require from a candidate. Showcase both technical and soft skills with examples. We have seen that it's very important for you to have both technical and soft skills. And then you align with the company culture and show a growth-oriented mindset. Most of the employers look for someone who is willing to grow with the company for your own self. If it's promotion, how willing are you to work towards getting to a higher level? Yeah. I think that is it for today. Yeah, thank you for joining. Let me see if we have any questions. I'm open to questions.
Thank you so much for that, Esther. If anybody has questions, you can just share in the chat, in the group chat, and see how best we can tackle and answer and help you. I can see there's a question. How do you answer if the interviewer asks how much you would like to be paid? Esther, would you like to answer Victoria? Esther, are you there?
Yeah, sorry about that. Victoria is asking, how do you answer if the interviewer asks how much you would like to be paid? So I feel like the proper way to go about this is from your research, you can find out what the organization deals with, and mostly on LinkedIn, you can find some employees who are there or are previously there. You can interact with them and find out a price range, for example, like a vague rough figure of how to go about it. And then most of the time, it's better to give a range, say from like 40 to 50,000, instead of giving a fixed figure. Yeah. If you have anything to add to that, you can, Skyler.
As Esther has said, basically, the high paid question, maybe most of the time it should also be on the adverts that they provide. They should probably give this is the salary that they are offering for that specific position. And if not, as Esther said, you can try and find out. But also, it's good to have a range and kind of like know your work in a sense and the kind of work you've been doing and what also you've been getting for the kind of work you've been doing. I kind of like range it a bit. And also, as I mentioned about former employees and new things, though maybe it may not be as easy to get a response, maybe sometimes getting a response from somebody currently working there, maybe a bit difficult, but maybe there's a possibility that you could get to interact with this person and you may engage them in that type of conversation in finding out the kind of price range that specific company has. I really hope Victoria that is helpful. Faith is asking, do I have to have both a cover letter and a CV, or is the CV enough? So I can answer this for you, Faith. So most of the time when you're applying for that specific position, it's good to send out both your CV and a cover letter tailored specifically to that position that you're trying to get. So I'd say it's good to have both. So because I think the cover letter more specifically says why you want that chance to work with that specific company. And I really hope that has answered the question. So my answer would be yes, you should have both. How do you say I left my previous job because the salary was good after you've only worked for a year. Esther, would you like to handle this question?
Okay, so I'll answer the question. How do you say I left my previous job because the salary was little after even you worked for a year? So how to go about this question is when it's asked to you at an interview, you just say that whatever it is you are offering at the place you are working is not equal to the amount of pay you are getting. And you can say you are looking for a way to get promoted, or if they offer promotions and that was not working. So you felt like whatever it is you are bringing to the organization is not worth the amount of pay you are getting at the same organization. Yeah, I think that's a way you can go about it. Skyler?
I think also the point being that you probably you worked there only a year. I think it's basically how you grades. There's some. It could be understandable if you maybe worked there a year and you've seen there's a possibility of that salary increasing gradually with time, but also maybe you could have seen that that's not likely, so you've opted to take that other job. So it's okay to push it out in saying that what you are being offered is basically couldn't really cater to, it was not matching the kind of work you do. This is assessment. I really hope that is helpful. Why is it thanks the profound presentation? Thank you. Martin is asking, is it advisable to renegotiate salary after receiving an offer letter? Esther, would you like to?
Okay, I feel like most of the time when it comes to you receiving the offer letter, you first of all sit with the employer and discuss what the salary is. Most of the time you'll find that you can come to an agreeable term on what you want or what you expect. So for it to get to a place of renegotiating, maybe you say after a while, not immediately after you receive the offer letter. Maybe like you get something higher after you've achieved maybe your KPIs or something like that. So I don't think that it's advisable to renegotiate immediately after unless you didn't agree to whatever amount it is they offered you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. Irene is asking how to answer the question on why are you moving from one organization to another.
So we have how to answer the question on why you are moving from one organization to another. I'm sure most of the time when people want to move to a different organization is to look for greener pastures. So that is a really good way to put it. You can also see that you wanted an avenue to grow your career in a different place to get better experience in a different position, better experience in a different organization. So it's not really bad to move from one organization to another if you feel like whatever it is you're bringing is not aligning to the organization you've gone to. It's okay to move to another organization. Yeah.
It's okay, and also when you bring it out that the fact that you moved from this organization to another for various reasons, the culture of that specific company, you talk about culture, so maybe that specific culture wasn't really aligning with your principles, so it's good to bring it out in a way that is understandable to your potential employer as well. So it's okay to bring out the fact of why you need one organization another when asked. Then just me, how can I effectively communicate my skills and potential to interviewers? And I lack direct experience in Esther.
Yes. We go to the next question. How can I effectively communicate my skills and potential to interviewers when I lack direct experience in the field? I tend to believe everyone starts from somewhere. So if you're going to an organization and you want a start-up job, most of the time people go for internships when they are fresh out of university. Fresh graduates go for internships to get the skills that is required for the position they want to go to. So you don't necessarily have to go with everything. Some things you can learn on the job. So when it comes to communicating your skills to a potential interviewer, you can just give a general overview of what is required. We've talked about soft skills, technical skills you can pick up from some in school when you're taught. So it is about how you sell yourself to the place you want to go for an internship. For example, you can go, some start by volunteering, you can go volunteer at an organization and prove yourself, and they can take you, absorb you to the organization. Yeah. Skyler.
I think that is really well said. And also, just like I said, especially from university, you basically have attachments. I feel like most. You have the kind of attachment experience, so it's understandable when you're a fresh graduate. That would be the only kind of experience that you have. Or some have gone to the extent of an internship. So when also you try and bring those skills out, what you are able to do during that time of attachment or internship, and kind of bring out the skills by using when you ask a question, you kind of give examples of how you are able to do a specific task and how you are able to achieve a certain result. It's basically gives them track, like step by step is what I'm trying to say, so that they can understand they know what they're talking about, they have some type of experience with that. Or maybe it's maybe you don't have that experience of internship or attachment, because like I said, you have to start with somewhere and take it step by step. You can start from an internship and you work your way up. And Claire is asking, what if you are asked by the panel to ask them any question? Is it true that you lose some marks to get answered? I think I can answer this, Claire. So I think basically when interviewers ask, or even here this being asked, if you have any questions to ask at the end of an interview, you're basically trying to see whether you can pose some questions to us, maybe about what we do. It could be maybe just inquiries. I think it's always good to have a question as the interviewer at the end of the interview. I wouldn't say basically that you lose marks, but I would say it's not really a good look when you ask if you have a question like when you answer and your response is no other. So you could basically ask and things, maybe ask them to clarify on something specific, or maybe what is maybe a specific aspects about that specific position. You can ask for clarity on something like that. So I think it's really good to have a question, and maybe it might not necessarily be a question. You can also just give feedback as well, just something to say, like share your input at the end of it. Don't just up and leave. I think that would be the best way. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody else has a question or something is not clear.
We have this follow-up question from Irene on how to answer the question on why you are moving from one organization to another. She asked, can they see it as a red flag that you leave them the same way? Most of the time, when it comes to an interview, an employer will try to know the actual reason why you left the previous organization you are working at. So you'll find that if it's for greener pastures, they will not have a problem with that. But it also depends on the time you take to move from one job to another. If it's a period of 6 months and below, that will be a red flag, because they will know that in their head, like you've moved from 2 consecutive jobs between 6 months, a 6-month period. They will know that that's the trend you have. Is it because you can't interact with other employees? Is it because you are not satisfied as a person who is looking for a job? Is it because, so they will dig deeper to know why it is you move from a certain job to another. So I don't think it will be a red flag if you've stayed in an organization for 2 years, for example, and you move to another organization. That makes sense when you compare it to moving from a job to another one in 6 months. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you for that. I can see, I can't see any more questions, so I really hope you were able to answer to the best of our abilities. I really satisfied with the kind of answers you've been able to give. And so basically, okay, two questions for my conclusion. How do you handle a counter offer? Take it or leave it. What to do when your boss has a favorite and listen? And would you rather take your leave days or get paid? So I think Esther, you can tackle the first question and the second.
Okay, I'm not really sure I understand the question. How do you handle counter offer, take or leave it? If you would explain further on that.
Well, do you mean the salary or what exactly do you mean? But what to do when your boss has a favorite? I can answer that in the meantime. Unfortunately, there's always gonna be, office politics. There could be some people who are getting a bit of favoritism, and maybe they're getting the low end of the stick sometimes. So when it's something you've noticed, but sometimes also it could be something a number of people have noticed as well. Maybe more than one of your colleagues have noticed that maybe Kenzo is getting more. It's a favorite to you. So in cases like that, maybe it could possibly be brought up as a concern to HR, but at the same time, maybe it's always best to have your back. Like sometimes it's really good to know exactly what's going on, before you bring it up, before you voice it, and that it's not what's going on. But then again, if you get a bit too much and you're not really liking what is going on, it's always good to voice it. all of the messages that have been put in the organization to follow up, to put forward an issue that you may have. Your question on, would you rather take your leave date or get paid? Esther, I don't know if you could handle it.
Okay, so I'll answer it to the best of my ability, because I feel like it's not really a personalized question per se, because most of the organizations advise employees, to take their leave days, go recharge, go get refreshing for the next task you'll come to handle after you have gone for your leave days. In terms of payment, I believe that most employers do not advocate for paying leave days. So it's just better to be on the safe side for you to take your leave days and utilize them for recharging and taking care of yourself. Yeah. It's all about work-life balance. You can't just go working, you'll get burnt out. So it's also good to take care of yourself. You can go have a mental health day or go do something nice for yourself during your leave days. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. Because of time, we must have to wrap up. I've shared on my screen the office situation of this. These were at my house. This is anniversary child. We will speech that floor office suite 617. That is our number. The email you can get us through our website if you want to get a bit more, know a bit more about what we do. Then I can see that you can just on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. In case you miss anything or maybe you want to share with somebody, we post these webinars on our YouTube channel. So you can definitely keep an eye out for that. You can definitely keep an eye out for that. So I'd like us to just sum up. I think I can say closing prayer.